Hi everyone, just wanted to take a minute to talk about how to determine the equation of a line given a picture of its graph. And the equation of the line that we are writing is going to be in slope-intercept form. So ultimately the two things that we really need are the slope and the y-intercept. So luckily in these particular problems, we're usually able to identify the y-intercept very easily, given that we are looking at a graph. So here we have it at 0, -5. All right. Now, it doesn't matter what points you pick to determine the slope, as long as you pick essentially like 2 points that are right next to each other. You could pick this point up here and this point down here. However, you're going to then have to simplify your slope. So why bother? Why not just pick points that work? Additionally, if your y-intercept is not a whole number, like here it's 5 or -5, so it's fine. But if, let's say, you had a y-intercept of like 2.5 or something like that, or 2.75 or 3.68, and you were just told that, but then you had some other points that were on whole numbers, use the whole number points. Um, make it as easy as you can for yourself. So with finding the slope, there's a couple things we can do. One, we could use the slope formula, the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But ultimately, we don't necessarily have to in this case because we could just count. Now, it doesn't matter which 2 points, as long as I'm picking consecutive points, it'll work. I could pick non-consecutive points. By that, I mean, again, this one and this one, or this one and that one down there. But then you would have to simplify. So for instance, I can go down 1, 2. So down 2 and then 1, 2, 3. So, -2 and then 3 to the right. It didn't matter, by the way, I could have used 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So down 2 to the right 3. Either of these would have been acceptable. Points for you to work with. Again, you could have done more. For example, if I had gone here and then I went to that point, it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it would have been 4, -4, 6, which would have simplified to 2, 3. So ultimately, the equation of my line is going to be, because we have the y-intercept of -5 and I have my slope of -2/3, is y equals -2/3 x minus 5. Okay, and again, you can always get a good idea based on the slope, because when it's the negative slope, it goes down, positive slope, it's going up and to the right. Okay, so good. See, they used almost the exact points I said, why would you bother? But they did, and they showed that you can simplify. So let's look at another problem. We just did a negative slope. Let's do a positive slope. Let's do a positive slope. Let's do a positive slope. We're going to get there, everyone. Wow, apparently they don't want to do positive slopes today. Here we go. Here's one. So let's look at what we're starting with here. We have our y-intercept of 0, 1. So we have our y-intercept of 0, 1. And then we're going to be looking at the 0.54 over 5 up 4. Okay, so we have our 2 points. Again, at this point, you could use the slope formula and not worry about the graph anymore. Alternatively, you can count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So we could go up 3 and to the right 5 as your slope. Either it's acceptable, or if you'd plugged it in using your slope formula, you would have gotten the same thing. So let's just plug it in, make sure we didn't make any mistakes, or I didn't accidentally put the negative in the wrong direction, or in the wrong spot, I mean. So luckily nothing should have a negative, so we should be good. And we're done. All right. Please let me know if you have any questions, and have